All right. More TikTok. I'm hearing more TikTok trivia next week over here. All right. I have the pleasure of introducing our speaker today. Laura Ketchum has worked at the OSU Foundation for 7 years and currently serves as the Senior Director of Campaign and Signature Initiatives since May of last year. Previously, she served as the College of Arts and Sciences team lead. Laura loves working alongside both university leaders and generous donors to OSU. She's originally from Michigan and worked for over a decade as a K-12 public school music educator before joining the nonprofit sector in 2015. While not technically an OSU grad, Laura has fully immersed herself into the Cowboy family since her family moved to Stillwater in 2019. She cheers loudly for the Pokes every opportunity she gets. Everyone, Laura Ketchum.
Thank you. Yes. I don't know your name. You're the TikTok table, but I love the rally towel usage. So great job. Yes, there's a lot of swag. Can you all hear me okay? Is this working? Okay. There's a lot of swag in the center of the tables. I do not want to take it back out to my car, so please take it. Steal from the table near you if you see anything left. We have a lot of great new stuff in our new brand and logo. Since I know you all love trivia, and I was so sad when the date moved, I couldn't personally go to your trivia event, but I was signed up, and my team did well, and they had a great time, so thank you. But I do have some trivia, and there's a few people in this room that have an unfair advantage. So I might say if you formerly worked at the OSU Foundation, you're not eligible to win this prize. But I have 4 of these to give away to the person. Let's raise our hand in a calm and dignified way. Don't shout out. I used to teach high school, I understand. So who knows exactly what year the OSU Foundation was founded? What year did it become a 501c3 nonprofit? I know, we got some, worst case, I'll let them answer. We'll see if they're right. But does anybody who didn't formally work at the foundation know that answer or want to take a guess? You know, I'm not going to make you pay anything if you get it wrong. So, what do you think? 1997. You're a couple of decades too recent. So it was before that.
1974.
Getting warmer.
1977.
Getting colder. Closest so far.
1958.
Oh man, I didn't think about like doing math on the spot. Okay, 58 is your guess. What did you say, 65? Okay, you were technically, I think, closer. 61. Do I have the math right there? Here you go, the code calls. Okay, another trivia for you. What year did the OSU Foundation receive its first $1 million gift? So, single donor household, $1 million. What year do you think that happened? You know that we started in 1961, so it's going to be after that. Okay, raise hands. Who's got a guess? What year? Yes. You're close, but not that close. Let's see if we can get. We'll take 2 more guesses.
1985.
Closer. Oh no. Okay, it was 81. Who's closer?
77.
77 is closer. Okay, 1981. Yeah, so you know the Bartletts. Okay, it wasn't T. Boone Pickens, which most people might assume it was. He came in second a year later. So yes, the Bartlett family was our first $1 million gift. Okay, you know it's called the Code Calls. That's our newest campaign. This is our 3rd comprehensive campaign of all time. What are the other 2 names? I've got a cup for each person who can get it right. So raise your hand if you know our past comprehensive campaign names. Yes. You can just name one of them. Oh, that was our tagline, our university tagline, not our comprehensive campaign. Good guess. Yes. Also part of kind of our university brand, but not a comprehensive campaign.
People, programs, and places.
That I think is maybe a college tagline.
That was Halligan.
Okay, this is we've had 2 comprehensive campaigns, fundraising campaigns. So they might not be as well known. You got another guess? No, there's 2 people I know they know the answer.
Give me money.
That's always the campaign that we're in.
I mean, yeah, you all raise money too. Okay, any other guesses before we go to Kathy and Scott? who know the answer, I hope. Scott, do you know both of them? I know Kathy does because she said them earlier.
Yeah. Give them the initials. Like BTDL. What do we got? BT. Or BDTL, sorry. Bringing dreams to life.
Okay.
This needs to
And-
go over to the.
Branding success. So Bringing Dreams to Life was our very first campaign. Sorry, I hadn't thought of it like with the initials. That kind of threw me. And that was 1994 to 2000. And then the second comprehensive campaign, which was launched under President Hargis, was the Branding Success campaign, and those dates were 07 to 2014. So it's been a minute since we've been in a comprehensive campaign. And if you didn't remember it, it's maybe because you're like me and I didn't live here at that time. So it's okay. But again, I'm Laura. It's so good to be here. I love, when I lived in Oklahoma City, I loved going out to the Rotaries and speaking about great causes. I'm embarrassed that it's my first time to visit with you all, but Kara did a great job introducing me. And I love being here in Stillwater, and thank you for the great work that you all do with your Rotary involvement. So I've been invited to share just a little bit more about OSU's new effort, and it is both the university's new tagline and our comprehensive giving campaign name. So this is the first time that we've done that, where it's a unified branding effort. So that's why maybe some of the older names didn't stick the same way. You're going to be hearing about the code calls from the university when they speak about prospective students. You're going to be hearing about the code calls, and outreach from the Alumni Association with some of the branding with athletics and from the foundation. So it's a unified effort. We've worked really closely with OSU brand management. If you saw the recent State magazine, the cover was gorgeous, and there's a pull-out poster with the cowboy code. I have on each of your tables a printout of the cowboy code, and you may not have heard of it before this, and that's okay. We actually had it engraved on the Welcome Plaza pillars about 8 years ago. So it's quietly been part of our culture. It has been around, but not celebrated. And so when we sat down and we knew that it was time for OSU to embark upon a new comprehensive giving campaign, it was definitely time. We hadn't done one in quite a while, and we knew that we needed something that could rally and unite people. We live in a really polarized world. There's a lot of negativity, and it felt like the right thing to do, to lean into a culture-based and values-based brand. And this is something that we literally already had on campus, like engraved in stone. So it felt like the right idea and the right movement and the right time. So we have those 7 tenets. You can see them on the screen. They're on your table. But we are just really celebrating and highlighting that kind of, I think, really positive message. And something that a lot of folks already, they felt like they knew about us, but we hadn't put it in words and been very overt about it. So the Cowboy Code is a set of enduring principles that reflect OSU's spirit. It's not about slogan or trends. It's about how cowboys show up, work hard, and follow through. These values are lived daily by students, alumni, faculty, and donors, and they define what it means to be part of the OSU family. So I'm really proud to work at this effort. When we did some of the vision and kind of focus groups to talk about what should we name this thing, what is it, how big is it going to be, I've been in the campaign role only since last May, but the silent phase of this effort has gone back years. So I've been very fortunate to get involved kind of in the later stage of right before we went public. But we've been really intentional about bringing in faculty, students, staff, alumni, donors, community, people who are impacted by what OSU does and the value that we bring to the entire state and region. And one of the things that kept coming back is like when we asked people, describe what it means to be part of the Cowboy family, or describe what an OSU alum is like, it was like they're humble. Like we don't sing our own praises. And that sometimes is a bad thing because we don't sell, all the great stuff that we're doing as loudly as maybe some other universities might. So part of this is we're going to celebrate the fact that we are humble, and we do come from a place where, having a big dream and being courageous and showing up every day and rolling your sleeves up when the work gets hard, like we're going to celebrate that. So I've been really excited, and this is a brand promise. I know the type is really small, so don't worry, I'll read it. But I've been really excited to kind of dive into this and hear from more people. Current students were hugely involved with this, just so you know. We had a class through the School of Media and Strategic Communications, so the old J School, journalism school. New name for that, right? That's been around for a while. But we had a whole class involved and going out into the student body and you know, we know that the awareness of the Cowboy Code was not very strong. The students didn't know about it. Our friends in the community didn't know about it. Our alumni had never heard of it unless they happened to walk by that part of campus. So we knew we had to go through an education phase first with the campaign, and that's kind of what we're still in. So if you still come across people who don't know what the Cowboy Code is, that's okay. Help them, share them, hand some of the stuff over, point them to the right direction, because it is still new and it's going to take some time. We know that in any marketing effort, just about the time we get sick of hearing about it is when the masses will actually have heard it for the first time. So this slide says, our word is our bond, a promise to ourselves and to our state to transform sky-wide ambition into rising action that meets our people where they are and stops problems in their tracks. The code is our call, a charge to turn big dreams into deeds done, to do the impossible and then to do it again. Free to question, excel, break through. It's all in a day's work and a life's purpose. When you walk the Cowboy way, you never walk alone. My boss, Blair Atkinson, our president, if you've met her before, her resounding theme throughout all of this kind of vision casting has been, we want to make sure no cowboy walks alone on their journey. That it's a huge family that surrounds you. From the moment that you decide to come to OSU as a student until way, way after you graduate. You've got resources, you've got friends, there's mentors. It's not just about fundraising and raising dollars. It's about the transformational impact on your life. And so it's a much bigger feeling. So to launch this thing, we had a party on campus, and I'm realizing now it was on a Thursday, so it probably conflicted with us. I'm terribly sorry. We were limited in availability of venue and certain individuals being there. So the Cowboy Code rally, again, people didn't know that we were launching a fundraising campaign. We hadn't gone public with it yet. So this event on November 13th was the moment where we unveiled that to the world. Leading up to that, because OSU had announced that this was the brand name going forward about a week before, we were putting like fun little things on campus to surprise and delight. So we had some little payphone looking things, which college kids nowadays, they did not grow up in the era of a landline. So to them, it was very novel. You know, those of us who grew up with that, it was kind of like, yeah, that's not that funny. But they were really interested in it, and we had messaging about the Cowboy Code. We were giving away some of the swag. The T-shirts were going out. And so there was a lot of curiosity about what is this thing that's going to happen November 13th. We actually changed the bell tower, the ringing of the Edmond Low Library bell, changed to a phone ring. Not like a cell phone ring, but an old school, like, ring-a-ling-ling. And we had a voiceover, Larry Race, voice of the Cowboys. He was announcing, like through recording through the bell tower, Cowboys, come to the rally on Thursday, you know, free food, all the things you do to get people there. So we were really pleased with the turnout. There was food trucks. There was just a lot of fun excitement, a celebratory feel. Some stats we had, we live streamed because we knew a lot of our Cowboy family, they live far, far away, but they wanted to be a part of it. We didn't want them to miss out. And so it's recorded. You can find the whole video on YouTube. It's out there. We did make a really short little compilation video. So I'm going to show that for you right now. So in case you weren't able to be there, this is what it felt like the day of.
You know, it's a bright, orange, beautiful day in cowboy country, isn't it? Isn't this great? You are about to witness a historic moment for Oklahoma State University.
My first statement as Oklahoma State University president was simple, that we will always put students first in every single thing that we do. So today, in keeping students front and center, we will officially launch the Code Calls.
Make some noise for our Spirit Squad.
We will raise $2 billion.
This campaign is about creating life-changing opportunities for our students. We will be the most competitive university in the country at producing career-ready graduates who are prepared to tackle the challenges of tomorrow.
We're thrilled to share this huge historic moment with everyone across the OSU system. In addition to this campaign being launched, we're launching a new scholarship fund. So our first two students, the recipients of the Code Calls Scholarship Fund, are Lizzie Cowan and Piper Gatlin.
To every volunteer, every mentor, every donor, every leader who helped us get here, thank you, thank you, thank you. The best is yet to come, and you all have inspired us all.
The effort that we are about to embark upon will take every single one of us, but it will have a transformational impact, and the future of our great university depends on all of our collective efforts.
Together, we are driving OSU forward. The future is not waiting, and neither are we.
The Cowboy Code is calling all of us, so let's answer the call.
So that is what you missed if you weren't able to join us in person. And to give you an update, back at the time of that press release, we did mention that we were nearing 900 million, so getting close to halfway. That's pretty typical in university higher ed fundraising. You don't launch the campaign until you're really close to halfway. And in some cases past that. And I know some people that kind of took by surprise. They're like, wait a second. But we've been in a silent phase since fiscal 22, which is July 1st of 2021. So we've been counting, we've been prepping for this moment. And so you can see our progress as of last week. Today when I pulled up and looked, we're actually over 932 million right now. So it's really exciting. Every dollar in a comprehensive campaign counts. So if you're somebody who's involved with athletics and you have a donation as part of your seat ticket, your tickets for your seats, that counts towards this, the philanthropic piece does. If you're somebody that has been giving to scholarships, if you support one of your colleges, or if, when alumni association dues comes out, like all of that is part of what we count in a comprehensive campaign and more. It goes beyond that. So we have amazing donors that sometimes leave part of their estate to OSU. We have incredible people who gift items, gift in kind. So when a company or an individual gives a piece of equipment, say that engineering needs to do some research, there's a fair market value for that. And that's a very real dollar figure that's benefiting OSU students. So it's not just cash. This doesn't mean we have a pile of cash that's that amount. This is the comprehensive view of all of the things, all of the generous ways that people give back. Each of these dollars is thoughtfully earmarked. After we went live, I heard a couple people say, well, what's the money going to go toward? Well, it's up to you as the donor, right? So if you choose to give to Spear School of Business, because that's your alma mater, that's where your children went, that's where the money went to. If you choose to give to athletics, that's where the money goes to. We are driven by your orange passion. Any donor can earmark their money for a specific purpose at the OSU Foundation, and we count the big sum total of all of that. So there's over 7,000 funds, individual funds. Some of those are started by a dean or a department head because they have a real need, and donor philanthropy can help meet that need. Sometimes it's a donor saying, I want to honor my mother, so I'm going to start an endowed scholarship in her name. And so all those things added together, it's a huge impact. So while it seems like a huge, scary number, we are on track. We did a lot of work to forecast and project and aspire, and we've done a ton of work with our new hires and training our people who've been here for a while, just to make sure we're really optimizing our efforts. And because we know at the end of the day, our mission is only to raise money to support OSU. Like, the money only goes to support this great university that we're all part of. So for me, it's a noble cause. It's very admirable. I'm not an alum of OSU, but I'm so proud to be here. And if you are an alum, I'm jealous because it's a great university. So next slide, we've got kind of who are these people that are giving back, because we're also counting and hoping to get to 100,000 individual donors. So if you make a gift once during the campaign, or you make a gift 15 times, you're still only going to count once in this count. So we're trying to widen that net and make sure that everybody who's a part of the Cowboy family understands where they can have an impact with their philanthropy. So you can see it's not just alum who give back. We've got amazing non-alumni. A lot of times that's a spouse, somebody who married into the Cowboy family. Just recently we started working with parents of current students. That's something that we've not done. We were a little bit behind. I'm going to be kind of transparent with you. Many universities, particularly the private universities, they start asking for money the second you send your kid there. And we've been a little too humble, right? Like, we're the we don't want to do that. That's not but we need to, because we're going to fall behind if we don't, right? So there's a lot of data to suggest if we can get a family involved in philanthropy while the student is still on campus, they're going to continue to be our donors and continue to support this amazing place. So here's some quotes again. President Hess and Blair Atkinson at the foundation, we've worked very in lockstep closely to make sure that this defines everything that the university needs, that we as the foundation employees, we're just conveying that need. And so I like to think when I talk to donors, the foundation, if you're not aware, we're our own 501c3 and our sole mission is to support OSU. We are not OSU employees, we're OSU Foundation employees. And so what that means is we get to be, in some cases, the donor's advocate, going back to the university and saying, hey, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Donor here, they have a question about their giving, or they'd like to see, you know, can we work through this issue? They haven't been happy with their scholarship, or, you know, so we're kind of a donor's advocate, as well as listening on to the university on what the need is and translating that into something. A lot of our academics, they're great people, they're brilliant, amazing humans that are good at chemistry and engineering and business, but some of them aren't great at talking to donors. And so that's where we come in. We can kind of be those translators. And so we needed to make sure it couldn't be that the OSU Foundation is going to launch a campaign without listening to what OSU needs. This has been a very, very concerted effort from the get-go. On the table there is our case statement for this campaign. It looks like a little brochure. Inside that, you will see a little bit more about the storytelling, the poetry, as Blair would say, about what it is we're fundraising for. There's 4 pillars. These are the ways that we want to change the world. We want to live the cowboy way. We want to create life-changing opportunities. We need to lead with humility. There's that we're humble piece. And we need to power progress. Because our role isn't just to educate the individual students, it's to the ripple effect of how does that education that's invested in one individual change the community around them, our state, the world. It's bigger than just, you know, Payne County, Oklahoma. So I'm really excited. I hope that you take a look through that. I have a ton of copies of everything I brought, and I have a lot more stuff. If you have any questions, see me afterwards. I'm happy to share individual pieces of collateral for specific units. We've worked with every single campus partner to make sure that, for the example, Taylor works for the College of Arts and Sciences. That dean, the department heads have had insight into what they're fundraising for with this campaign. Similar for College of Education and Human Sciences, similar for Ag. All of our campus partners have been really thoughtful in thinking about what is it that our donors need to know about, where are the gaps, and how can a donor fill that need and help bolster our community. So why do we campaign? That was another question I heard after we launched. Why the heck are we doing this? Don't you guys fundraise all the time? Aren't you always asking for money? Yes, we are. But when you look at what happens after a campaign, so this slide, it's a little hard to see, but the far left side is fiscal 2000, so post the Bringing Dreams to Light campaign. You can see we were between 50, maybe 60, 70 million, kind of in an average. Obviously the big blips, we were very grateful to Mr. T. Boone Pickens. He was transformational in so many ways. A lot of those big blips are his giving, okay, that skews the numbers. But look what happens the year after one of those. He inspired more people to give. And so you can see the branding success. The orange bar at the bottom shows from when we launched in 2007 through 2014. Look at this chart. So orange is we're projecting into the future where we're hoping to be, right? But you can see once you do a campaign, you never go backwards, right? We keep engaging our donors. They feel like they're more invested. And so this fundraising campaign is not just something willy-nilly that we thought, this might be a good idea. This is why universities do this work. It gives our base an opportunity to rally around something. It gives people a sense of pride that they're part of it. Donors who give during this campaign are going to know that they're part of the Code Calls campaign. If you gave during Branding Success, I hope you know and you felt like you were thanked for that. It made an impact. So we, doing campaigns is a pretty common thing in the university world. But it's not just about dollars. And I hate that I kind of put that up there before reminding you that it's about human lives that are changed. And President Hess has not been shy about talking about how this campaign is going to impact every student. His vision and our campus's vision is to ensure that every student feels like they're not walking alone and to get more students connected to donors through a scholarship fund. So I thought, who better to talk about scholarships than an actual student with a scholarship? So I'm going to introduce you to Amara.
I'm Amara Jackson. I'm from Corona, Michigan, and I'm a junior studying agribusiness. So an organization that I'm involved in here at Oklahoma State is the Ferguson College of Agriculture Ambassador Team. We meet weekly with prospective students that come and visit Oklahoma State, and during that time with them, we tell stories, we share information about the college, but ultimately we just connect with them. Another organization that I've been a part of here at Oklahoma State is the McKnight Scholars Program. I received leadership curriculum and then eventually went on to study abroad to South Africa, and now I'm serving as a mentor for that program to our first year students. I love that program because of the leadership development it's given me and now the chance to give back to it. This summer, I was with the U.S. Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry in Washington, D.C. And through that, I had the opportunity to research legislation, attend briefings and hearings, and then support the committee staff and the chairman with different projects that they were focusing on during that time. It totally changed my perspective on our country and how we create legislation. And OSU was such a supporter, whether it be when I was sharpening up my resume and interview skills. The Ferguson College of Agriculture has a scholarship program for students interested in DC internships. And so through that, from a financial perspective, they also were supportive. And now even at the end, I have faculty asking me to present on my summer experience so that way other students can be exposed to the opportunities available to them. Coming to Oklahoma State and receiving scholarships from the OSU community and beyond has been incredibly impactful for me. I'm a student who's paying for my college by myself. I come from a single-parent household with lots of love and support, but I knew when it came to college that'd be my time and my responsibility to step up in that way. And so because of these programs and these different opportunities, it feels like OSU truly believes in me and believes in my success here at Oklahoma State. And so it's a feeling that I don't take lightly, and I hope someday that I can give back in that capacity too. If given the chance to talk to a prospective donor or a current donor, I would explain to them that their gift is an emotional experience for me as a student. You know, when that email pops up or I receive that letter, it's this recognition that's like, I can keep doing this. Like, my degree is in sight and financially I'm supported. And so I just hope that people recognize the impact, the true emotional impact that they are having on students like me, because it helps us see that people believe in us, that there is an end in sight, and that I can attain it because there's a community surrounding me.
She's great. We've featured a couple of other scholarship recipients through this campaign. I have a couple more slides, but I'm going to zip through to, because I'm looking at the time, just a couple of stats. And a lot of times people are, a real common question for us in the development side, like, what's it cost to go to OSU these days? And you've heard, hopefully, that President Hess has been really great in previous leadership with not increasing tuition in astronomical ways. So I'm really proud to work for this university. It is still expensive, though, even though we work really hard to have great value. And so a lot of our students, there's not the ability to work through the summer or have a part-time job and pay your way through school the way that was maybe possible 40, 50 years ago. And a lot of students we do have an amazing support system with scholarships, but the average amount, if we were to take all of the dollars that we have that are earmarked for scholarships currently from donors and divide it by all of the students in the system, the dollar figure is like $600. So obviously that's not the way it's divided, but that just kind of shows you like $600 wouldn't go very far. We only have about 800 students who get a scholarship of $3,500 or more. So there are a ton of hardworking kids on campus here in Stillwater, in Tulsa, Okmulgee, and OKC who want this OSU degree. They want the learning that we have, this incredible research institution that we're so grateful to have in our state. But financial barriers are going to prevent them from coming here. So again, this campaign is about students. It's about making sure that no cowboy walks alone. We want them to come here. We want them to show up. We know if we can get them on campus, they want to come here. It's a beautiful place. And we know that we can and we should do more to make their path a little bit easier. So I hope if you have questions about the code calls, I know you might want to end with some questions, or there might be some business that we have to wrap up with. I'm happy to answer the things I know, and if I don't know the answer, I will give you my card and we'll figure it out and get an answer back to you. But any thoughts, questions?
What percent of the $2 billion will go for scholarships?
It's contingent on what percent of our donors give to. So depending. Well, historically, I'd say about 30, 40%. So, I mean, there are other worthy causes on campus, right? So sometimes we need to build a building and donors want to give to name a room in honor of their family. There are program funds, which don't count as true scholarships, but they impact students because they might be a study abroad fund. Of course, there's athletic donations. There are faculty and staff endowments. So an endowed chair, for example, it's not a true scholarship, but that endowed faculty position has a huge impact on the students of that person's, whoever's taking those courses or researching alongside. So I would say that while it might not be dedicated 100% to scholarships, we are raising money comprehensively. Every single dollar that comes in is going to help students.
Does any of this go to NIL?
Oh, great question. I actually have a fact sheet about the difference between revenue share and NIL. So if you're interested in one of these, I can hand one off to you. So NIL and revenue share are two different things. So giving to athletics through their excellence funds would help towards the revenue share, which is something that OSU needs to raise money for. NIL is sort of a separate thing, and that we don't count that. That's not philanthropic. But the excellence fund donations, those are considered philanthropic. Whatever donors give to, that's where the money goes to. So not to NIL. No, we don't count. We do not count. If it's NIL, that's not considered philanthropic. So I'm happy to hand this off too because it's complicated and it keeps changing. So but this is what it is for right now. Any other questions?
Yeah. As a parent whose kid is enrolled for fall,
Yay!
how do you get a hold of this money?
Oh, how to apply? Yes. Yes. Well, there's a wide range of ways that students get scholarships, right? There are, if from the OSU Foundation coffers, typically it's most of our money that's raised is used as retention scholarships. So a student gets an offer to come in as a freshman, and depending on if that money is renewable or not, it might not last. And so that's where the foundation, a lot of times our scholarships are the things that keep the students in.
This general application that they all fill out, because it is like the worst Easter egg hunt on the planet to try to find scholarships to apply for. That general application, does it go to all of this stuff, or do they have to go seek it out separately?
And Kara knows a little bit more with your pastoral. You want to answer that?
Yeah, so I mean, the OSU Foundation itself is not awarding scholarships.
Yeah.
We are giving the money to the university, they're awarding. So 9 times out of 10, that general scholarship application, it's applying them for all the things that they're eligible for. So as the donor, they can set that they want it to be for an incoming freshman.
Yeah.
And so obviously if there's a scholarship for an upperclassman, your child's not going to be eligible for that. But yes, the general scholarship application.
And a big need.
Exactly. So you as the donor, if you set up a scholarship for a marketing student who is an upperclassman, our financial aid office handles kind of trickulating down and formulating, okay, here's the students that are eligible for these scholarships.
What we're working on encouraging donors to do is to think more about those renewable scholarships, something that can be offered to an incoming student that they don't have to as long as they keep their grades up and do what they're supposed to do, that they don't have to keep reapplying, because we know that that's taxing. So we're getting more, I think, hopefully more sophisticated as time goes on. And I feel like every year the university does new things to help streamline and centralize. So I can't promise it's going to be super easy, but yes. Well, and I recall going to college, I had to apply to 1 million different separate entities. It was not, even though it's not perfect yet, it's still not as streamlined as it is. I mean, back then it wasn't as streamlined as it is today. Well, I hope that you know a little bit more about the code calls. If you have other questions, come see me, or if you want information on athletics specifically, I have a couple of fact sheets I can share. And I think there's one more slide I'm supposed to advance to. Is that right?
Yep. Not quite yet.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. I was told
Thank
there was
you,
another slide.
Laura.